Hello there, my friend. My name's Darin Pev, or Darren Pev if you prefer, and I'm starting my YouTube channel with this very first video. Our first topic, nature of reality. Yes, it is interesting. Alrighty, so we're gonna structure the topic into several layers. This layer is the intermediate level. This is the relative science level. We're going to talk about the brain. We're going to talk about psychology and our Western kind of science. That's cool, but there's something way cooler than that. And that's this, the underground level. Which is unseen. That's how I call it. It's the absolute science that concerns the absolute reality. That's the most fundamental level, and that's what never changes. That's what not touched by time, space, circumstances, conditions. It's timeless. That's what we need. That's the source of everything. How cool is that, huh? We're going to talk about this and maybe not only talking about it. And so, the top layer, I call it pragmatism. There are some interesting advices for living better, happier life, more function better in life. Let me give you a little bit of a gist of what's that going to be about. Okay, you saw that diagram. You can pause it and study it for your convenience. Now, this is a hierarchy of reality in terms of form. You're soon going to figure out what that means. Now, at the bottom is the absolute emptiness. That means there's no form that can be attributed to it. There is no model that could be created at that level, but it is achievable. So, from the absolute emptiness, which is the timeless reality, we go up in the scale of form, and we go to this level. It's a space, but it has a special name. If you're a fan of quantum mechanics, you might have heard of it. I'm not going to reveal it to you just yet. Then we go to the physical space. Now, physical space is, of course, very elusive. It's not substantial. You cannot grasp it and hurt it, and it embraces everything, right? You cannot touch it. But it still has some form to it. Why? Because there are parameters that describe it, such as curvature. It could curve and bend and so on. And there are actually various kinds of space depending on the number of visible and invisible dimensions. So we are getting into the form more and more. It's still very little form there, but we are getting there. So that's physical space. It contains inner parameters. Then we go to even more form, elementary particles. Now these have a lot more concrete parameters. There's a lot more well-defined form there. So they have external parameters such as position, momentum, spin, rest mass, etc. These are, we can call them external parameters. In physical space, since it has a lot less form, actually it has inner parameters like curvature and apparent and hidden dimensions. Now, this is a structure according to the communication. Now, again, we have the absolute emptiness as the source of everything. That's what it is. Now, we need a direct experience. Of course, we're not going to get it just from talking about it, but that's a start. Then, we have physical forms, physical matter around us, and mental forms, thoughts, feelings, sensations, memories, dreams. These are mental forms. But there's something that there's a common element between them. And what that is, that's information. It flows without a stop, without boundary, between those kinds of manifestations. Take a look at this. Here we found out that what the mediator is space between the absolute level and the concrete reality. The mediator is space. And here, I showed you that the mediator, from this perspective, in terms of connectivity between the different manifestations, the mediator is information. Therefore, space is information. Well, I think for our first video that's enough. I gave you a little dip into the quality and the content of what we're going to be discussing. I don't need to tell you that you need to like this video and subscribe to this channel. So I'll see you again. Значи гледай сега какъв ми е на мене плана. Стигам до пълно просветление. Ставам най-после и аз милионер и се женя за Донка Илиева. Айде, чао, лека нощ, довиждане, приятни сънища, мерси.